issue of social justice was the driving force which led to the formation of the ILO in 1919, when the world was coming out of the First World War in 1918. The agenda to insist that social justice is the basis for ensuring an equitable and fair global community where labor is well rewarded and decent work is the justified reward of every worker continues to be the ILO's mantra as we enter and push towards this 21st century. The World Day Against Child Labor has been a rallying platform where across the globe the International Labour Organization pulls together social partners, specifically workers' organizations, employment organizations, or employers' organizations, and civil society to make sure that, number one, the fundamental principles and rights at work, which include the right to collective bargain and freedom of association, the principle of effectively dealing with forced labor, making sure that all forms of child labor are totally eliminated, and ensuring that there's no discrimination in the workplace is paramount as we seek to partner with governments like Ghana in improving decent work and eliminating deficits like child labor. Mr. Chair, Honorable High Table, we know that when in September 2015 the world decided to follow up on the Millennium Development Goals with a more ambitious 17 targeted Sustainable Development Goal plan, the issue of economic growth and decent work, as elaborated in goal number 8, was straightforward in insisting that issues like modern-day slavery, engagement in children in work that is not acceptable and is an affront to their fundamental human rights, issues of worst forms of child labor, and indeed all forms of child labor, should be eliminated not by 2030, which is the end point of the Sustainable Development Goals, but by 2025, which is only 6 years away from today. It's more important to look at it not only as an ambitious goal, but to look at it as a goal that is achievable. Because from 2000, when the world started to deal with child labor head-on, huge numbers of children, over 100 million across the world, have been removed from child labor, so it is possible. As we join with other people in the world to mark World Day Against Child Labor, we in Ghana have the opportunity to tell those 1.9 million children in our country to look them up in the eyes and tell them that in 6 years, in 2025, their constitutional right, as enshrined in Article 28 of the Constitution of Ghana, will be given them not as a privilege, but as an entitlement, especially because they are a vulnerable group. Our effort in dealing with child labor in Ghana shows clearly that we are not doing a lip service. For even though the numbers remain high by the statistics we have adequate evidence to show that efforts in Ghana surpass many efforts in many countries in Africa. So whether it is by improving the policy environment where government is making sure that broader issues that deal with the fundamental causes of child labor, such as poverty, such as unhelpful social-cultural norms, such as challenges in the enforcement of laws. While these broader issues are being given long-term, policy-oriented solutions, the specific target of making sure that the faces of the 1.9 million children are actually seen, that the statistic is not an assumed figure that appears only in statistical data, but that they are real children who are in Bando, they are real children who are in Temastation, they are real children who are across the streets. These are real children in Winneba. These are girls in the north who are carrying weights thrice the weight of their bodies. It is 20% of the population in the country. So it is time to encourage ourselves that there is hope. And as we see on the dial this morning that there are people who are doing this at sub-national level, we are assured that what we are doing at the national level is not just for the cameras, but that work is going on, as they say, behind the curtains and underground. So we are happy that today's World Day Against Child Labor is not an empty move, but actually there's a call to action to deal with child labor in one specific area of intervention, particularly small-scale mining. Keeping in mind that as children move from sector to sector, a holistic approach in dealing with the menace is what we need. So today the ILO is proud to partner with the Child Labor and Responsible Mining Network, the Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations, social partners, media, children, civil society groups, to make this call of action or call to action not only a ceremonial symbol of our effort to deal with child labor, but a clear initial writing saying that we actually are going to improve our action to deal with child labor. We know the long talk. We know the short route to deal with child labor. We have enough policies and enough frameworks. The short route is to just make sure that implementation is done at all levels. So that's the message we leave with ourselves. The ILO says that children must dream and they must work out their dreams. They shouldn't be in the fields. We will say well done to Ghana, but there's more work to be done. And when we come back here in 2025, let us hope that we'll look back to today and say that we said we would do it, and we did it. Thank you very much.